So this will be it's a half hour full session and guided, and what I do each week is just pick up and so expand a little bit, and as we go on through, we will just go through this month and we pause in July and August because the mosquitoes are awful. They're terrible. And then we'll come back again in September and October. So it will build each time. So there's a little more guidance now, and a little, as we get into the fall, a little more spaciousness for people to be practicing on their own as they've gained some skills. I wanted to say a little bit today about not just the practice, but it's just so typical in Western culture. Western culture loves to take things from other cultures and say, oh, we like this and let's package this up and sell it as just as this thing. And so meditation is one of those things that has come from the Far East. So much of what we know from meditation comes out of the Buddhist tradition. And in the true Buddhist tradition, meditation is in two parts: the vipassana of like focusing our minds and seeing realities as it is, and the other part of that is called shamatha, which is a stopping, slowing, calming, and resting. And we've kind of forgotten that. We just focus on the let's quiet our mind and sit. But it is really essential, this slowing down. And every one of you that's here right now, you're already on that pathway. You chose to take 30 minutes out of your life and slow down and come here. And so that's huge. I always read a poem at the end, but I wanted to, since I'm introducing this kind of theme of stopping, calming, and resting, I want to just read a poem at the beginning by Rob Bell called Walk, Don't Run. He says, walk, don't run. That's it. Walk, don't run. Slow down. Breathe deeply and open your eyes, because there's a whole world right here within this one. Efficiency is not the highest goal for your life. Neither is busyness, or how many things you can get done in one day, or speed, or even success, but walking, which leads to seeing. Now that's something. That's the invitation for every one of us today and every day, in every conversation, interaction, event, and moment, to walk, not run, and in doing so, to see a whole world right here within this one. So I'll kind of tease out a little bit of that about that theme, and specifically how a nature practice really supports this idea of slowing down. So the first thing is, especially for those that have of you that are new, that the invitation is always first to just look around and notice where you are. And there's two purposes for this. One, the obvious, like we're in this beautiful linden grove here in the Arnold Arboretum. So really soaking this in and looking at this canopy over our heads of these trees watching over us. And the other part is connected to that theme. It's a slowing down. It is, we all drank that Kool-Aid about multitasking, and so we're going and we're doing and we're moving from one place to another, and rarely do we stop and notice where we are. So this beginning of a practice of looking around orients you to where you are. So you're seeing the trees, you're seeing the space, and your mind and your body are in the same space, which is really important for us. Once you've looked around and taken this in, then if it feels okay to you, just letting your eyes gently close. And it's absolutely fine to have your eyes open if that feels better for you. Just have a very soft gaze a few feet in front of you. And I will give us an opportunity at the very end for those that have their eyes closed to see what it's like with a little bit of an open-eyed meditation, just so you get a little sense of what that feels like. But for now, letting the eyes gently close or having that soft gaze. And this next part is really the best part about the nature practice, is do nothing. Just open up your awareness and see and feel what you notice. What is entering into your awareness? Often the first thing that comes through is sound. And you may notice this just incredible orchestra, this rich tapestry of sounds from the birds that are singing to us. And the hum of cars in the distance. And you may notice a gentle movement of air where it touches your skin or your hair. It's a very soft breeze felt on your skin. And if you listen closely, you can even hear that breeze moving through the leaves overhead. These are all just nature's way of helping us begin to wind down, to slow down, to drop into this moment. Taking a moment now to notice, check in with your body, just feeling your body sitting here. And without any judgment, just noticing, how does your body feel right now? Checking in with your mind. How does the mind feel? Feel busy or jumpy or quieting? And what are the qualities in your heart and your emotions? So you're in this really special moment right now, in this little transition. I often describe this on Monday evenings like this: it's a relay race. That the doing part of you, the part of you that has been going throughout your day and task-oriented and and working and sending emails and doing this and doing that, that part of you, that doing part of you, is running on the track and reaching out, handing the baton to the being part of you. And that being part of you just takes the baton and sits right down. And in the being, we just let go of all of that doing and rest in awareness. Our goal in this just brief period of our practice is to get a just little momentary toehold into the present moment. And if we can do that, we can let all that noise and the busyness of whatever happened in this day leading up to now, that allows, that little toehold allows all of that noise to just soften and fade into the background, opening us up to what is here now. And the call of the birds or the breeze. So the way that we begin to get that toehold into the present moment is through our body. And the body only exists in the present moment. It doesn't live in the past. It doesn't live in the future like our mind, jumping back and forth between those two extremes, but right here. So opening this field of awareness and feeling yourself sitting here, and feeling the contact with the earth beneath you. And as you begin this grounding, just inviting the quality of curiosity. So you're just curious about what is felt. What can you feel through your feet, legs, or your sit bones, whatever places are coming in contact with the surface below you, the earth. Can you tell if the ground is soft or hard? And does it feel cool or warm? And can you feel the dampness? And then guiding your awareness up from these places where you feel the contact with the earth, up to your hands, palms, these areas where you feel a lot of the contact of this world around us, of touching. So being curious, what textures are you feeling on whatever your hands are resting on? Do you feel the texture of the clothing on your pants, the material? Or the softness of your skin if your hands are touching each other? And you sense the warmth of your body through your hands. And guiding your awareness again now to your shoulders. And these shoulders are these little barometers of our stress, and when we get caught in our head and we're spending time worrying or anxious or overthinking things, the shoulders just rise up. So inviting a really opportunity to take a nice deep breath. And as you exhale, feel these shoulders just soften, feel them release, feel them melt down at your sides. Taking another deep breath in again. And as you exhale, feel your whole body settling into the earth, being held by this earth. And guiding your attention now to your breath. And we'll just follow as many sensations as this breath enters your body, following it from the beginning of the breath all the way through and into your lungs, and then following that out again. And if you're not too congested, if it's possible to breathe in and out through your nose, see what that feels like. It's just slightly a bit better for us. The nose moistens the air, it filters the air. There's more sensations breathing in through the nose. And again, inviting that curiosity, seeing if you can feel right on the edges of the nostrils, the movement of that air as it passes into your nose, moving by the little hairs in the nostrils, activating them. Feeling that in-breath moving down the back of your throat. Feeling that air coming in and collecting into your lungs, filling the lungs. And as the lungs expand, you can feel the ribs moving out to make space. And perhaps noticing that little pause, that pause between the in-breath and the out-breath. That moment, right when the in-breath comes to its fullest expression, there's this little pause before it turns around and comes out as an out-breath. See what it's like to rest right there in that pause. Following the same sensations as the breath is leaving, just feeling the breath coming up back through the lungs and throat, and then out your nose or mouth again. And with curiosity, you may notice the air coming in is slightly cooler as it enters your body, and as you exhale that out breath, the air is just a little bit warmer after being inside your body. Maybe even noticing the little pause on the other end, the pause after the out breath, before the next breath. Also a little pause. So we come to the moment where a lot of people get hung up. They'll get right to this moment and they'll be with their breath. And they get frustrated because they immediately go back into planning their to-do list or thinking what they have to do tomorrow, and think, oh, I can't meditate. So the mind is just going to keep circling back with all these undue tasks, and it's trying to be helpful. But just allowing whatever to come in and just let it be in your awareness. And you can just even label it, name it. It's planning. Worrying. Daydreaming. Complaining. Whatever it is, just name it. Just let it go. I was really touched this past week with John Kabat-Zinn, and he talked about that moment of seeing those little thoughts as soap bubbles, and the minute it comes into your awareness, it just pops, like you've noted it. Okay, I'm planning. Let it go. Instead of sticking with it and building that to-do list, just planning. The soap bubble pops, and you just guide the attention back to the breath, and follow the next breath, and simply begin again. Beginning, when we were opening and arriving and grounding into this present moment, we were using the qualities of curiosity. And in this practice, when we are sitting, and this is the moment where we will stay as we go through this longer in the season, just staying with the breath or whatever anchor point. The qualities we use here is kindness. This means the letting go of all those thoughts that say, I'm doing this wrong, or I can't do this right, or beating yourself up. Just all those can completely disappear. There's no way to do this wrong. Just allowing whatever comes into your awareness, and just notice it, and just guide with kindness the attention back to the breath, or the sounds of the birds, the cars in the distance, the breeze, whatever brings you back to this moment. So before we close, if you want to see what it's like just weaving in sight, the sense of sight, is tilting your head down with your eyes closed, tilting your head down so that when your eyes slowly start to open, they'll be faced in the direction of the ground before you. So just barely cracking your eyes open, as you might do in the morning, just not wanting to let all that light rush in, just barely cracking your eyes, beginning to see some shapes or colors. And see if maybe that you can see just this little 12 by 12 area in front of you. And the invitation, using a nature practice with the eyes open, the eyes play a very different role. They're not tools, and we're not looking and reading and analyzing and finding as we do during the day when we're all about doing. Here in this practice, the eyes are just windows, so we just take in and notice very subtle movements, the slight movement of the breeze and the way that affects the blades of grass or the leaves. So as we get ready to close the practice, just inviting you to let your eyes gently close again. Opening the awareness, taking in the sounds of the space. Just savoring these last few moments of stillness, of resting in awareness. I want to close with a poem by Donna Fodds called Just for Now. She says, just for now, without asking how, let yourself sink into stillness. Just for now, lay down the weight you so patiently bear upon your shoulders. Feel the earth receive you and the infinite expanse of the sky grow even wider as your awareness reaches up to meet it. Just for now, allow a wave of breath to enliven your experience. Breathe out whatever blocks you from the truth. Just for now, be boundless, free, with awakened energy tingling in your hands and feet. Drink in the possibility of being who and what you really are, so fully alive that the world looks different, newly born and vibrant. Just for now. So as we get ready to close the practice, see if you can follow the next 3 cycles of breath. So bringing your attention, following the breath in and out 3 times. And then letting your eyes gently open. Thanks everyone. And so hopefully you feel, even just 20-30 minutes of just being in here, just slide a little bit slower, the pace a little slower, the mind is a little bit slower. And the invitation is, see how much longer you can hold on to that as you go back into the rest of the day. Staying in this place of just being and receiving, as opposed to like, oh, I gotta do this, gotta do this. Thinking back to those words of like, walk, don't run, just slowing down. So thank you. So we'll be here every Monday, 6:30 in the evening, and through the rest of this month.